Tom here. I wanted to make a quick video showing some recent trade setups that caught my eye, and I want to show you the results of them. And the point of this is really to show you how to identify these setups and apply them for future trade ideas. So I hope you get some value out of this, and if you have any questions, of course, just ask me. But let's get right into it. The three tickers that I'll be going over is JMIA, Amazon, and AMD. So right now I have the ES pulled up, the S&P, but I won't get into that. So let's start off with JMIA. Of course, start on the daily. I like to start off on a bigger time frame and work my way down whenever doing technical analysis. So I'll get rid of all this, and I'll talk about what I've seen in the beginning that really caught my eye. So back here, what was this, from pretty much August to November, we were forming a big cup and handle on JMIA, and we knew when we broke out of this resistance line that we would see a breakout. But how do we know what price target to expect when this does break out? Well, since this is a daily time frame, we have to think bigger picture. Each candle here represents one day. So a tool that I really like to use for this type of play is the price range tool. I'm using tradingview.com. It's my favorite tool to trade, plot my trades. So what I do, I pin it from the low of this cup. This is the base of the cup, and we go to the high of the cup. So this is a descending cup. So obviously you see the descending trend line, a high, the second high, and the breakout. So what I'm doing is going from the low here, and I'll mark them exact so it all makes sense. 7.0 to 23.9. Okay, we have that all set, and we see within this range we have a 241% move. So this is the move that I'm expecting from this cup breakout over a daily time frame. So let's see how it played out, and I would place the next bottom right at the lip of this breakout. And so we're looking for 241%. Okay, scroll up a bit. All right, 241. Okay, so about there. All right, and so next thing I want to do is find some additional indicators that will help base this trade. So I'll go into the 4 hour so we can do our fibs. And with our fibs, what I want to do is first off grab the tool fib retracement, and we want to pin it from the low 24.53 to the high. This is assuming we're doing all this before this breakout happened. So the high 49.89. Okay, and with our fibs, we can see that the 100% breakout. All right, once we pass the 100% retracement, we're officially in a breakout, and now we're trying to project a future target. So we came up, we retested it, and we came down. So essentially we have another cup and a handle here, and our breakout is once we pass this 49.89 level. Okay, so, and that's what we did here on Friday. So, but one thing I wanted to point out is how these levels match. So let me get this straight. It was about right there, and it was 241%. Okay, so if I fiddle with it and make it exact, these two lines are going to line up pretty close. All right, so it's already within 50 cents. So you get the idea there. The breakout of the bottom of the cup to the top is the same with the breakout of the end of the candle to the fib extension. So what I would ultimately expect with this is somewhere in the $65 range. So let's go into a smaller time frame and really analyze this breakout. Okay, so we really don't need this anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. So Thursday we dipped down and we attracted some buyers, and we came back on Friday and immediately broke out of this 100%. So immediately people are thinking, I already missed the move, but ultimately that's really just the start of the breakout once we pass 49. So despite us already having a monster move of the day, this thing is just getting started. And a quick target is the 127 retracement here at the 56 is where we kind of ended the day. Although after hours, currently we blasted above that. So it's looking like the 65 projection is more than likely. But I want to show you why buyers stepped in where they did. So on the 1 hour, and you kind of have to go through different time frames to see what makes sense. So we were kind of consolidating here, not really going anywhere. So there's no real progress with the handle itself. And so what I want to point out here is we're looking for a demand zone. And I have some videos on supply and demand on the YouTube channel if you want to check them out. But we see a point where price based out and was followed by a buy imbalance. This means that buyers are stronger than sellers at these levels, and it caused a imbalance from the consolidation period. So what I want to do is capture the low of the wick to the top of the body. We want to drag this all the way over, and we see that we eventually tagged this zone and buyers stepped in aggressively. So let's go into a 5-minute time frame, an intraday time frame, to see how it played out. So if you were waiting, you plotted this out on a bigger time frame, and the market opens here. You're waiting, it dips down, it hits our buy zone. This is where you load up on calls, and you see buyers steadily bring up the price. Base is out, followed by a buy imbalance again. Okay, and the result. Oh, we started here. The result. So there you have it. That's kind of a breakthrough of JMIA. We'll go to Amazon next. So of course, start on a daily, and right away you can already see it. We have a bullish pennant. This is a upwards flag followed by, a pennant formation. So let's go ahead and break that down. We start from here. We have a trend line. Okay, so then we go ahead and get the bottom from here. Okay, so we see that pennant forming. So we have a high and a low, followed by a lower high and a higher low, and so on. It repeats. So this is showing that we're consolidating within a pattern. This itself is a bullish pattern, and we're waiting for the breakout. Okay, so it makes sense why we on Friday rejected here, or if this was Thursday, we rejected here, and we didn't quite break out yet. But it looks like it's coming, although earnings are soon, so it could tamper with the pattern. I hate when earnings does that, don't we all? But let's go into a smaller time frame and really analyze this trade. Okay, so we're right here. We're predicting where buyers are stepping in to see a breakout. Right away, what we can notice in the past is buyers stepped in this area from 3072 up to like 3117. So we can go ahead and make our demand zone. It's the top of the body. And we see anytime we are in this zone, buyers step in. It wasn't strong enough this time, so we came back for a retest. And that time did the trick. However, this is not too precise, as you can see. The zone starts at 3117 and we dipped all the way to 3086. So what I want to do next is go to a smaller time frame, the 2 hour. And this is where we're able to get precise. So with this demand zone, we look for the bottom, the lowest wick from the start of this where buyers stepped in. So we go to the bottom of the wick to the top of that body. Okay, so there we are. Okay, so that's about 3096 down to 3072. So now what we can see is this is more precise. Here we briefly tapped it and went up. And here we tapped it the next day, tapped it again, and that's when we really took off. So we go within a 15-minute time frame and we look what happened. On the 15th, tapped it and we went up right away. This is a good 20-25 point scalp up here, which is good money. End of the day, almost tapping it again, so that kind of tells us, okay, tomorrow we might come down, or in after hours we might tap it and then go up. So we opened the next day, we kind of gapped up, and we faded back into that demand zone. And we just go on a 5-minute. Lord, I hate when this happens. So we tap it right away and buyers step in very aggressively here. Almost a $50 move to this high. Great scalp opportunity. You know, me as a trader, I'm mostly a scalper, and I'm usually taking profits way too soon. And I look back at trades like this and I see what happens and the potential profits that could have been made. So we realize why it stopped here. That's where the trend line is, but there's another reason to it. And so we're on the 30-minute time frame, and let's go back to previous price action. So right here, let's go ahead and zoom in on that. And so this was the top candle. So we're going to go top of this wick to bottom of that body. We're going to paint it red for supply, and we're going to drag it over. You can right click at the settings and do extend right. However, for the sake of this video, I'm going to do it this way. Okay. And let's take a look. So came up and tapped it. The zone is from 45 to 50. We went to 48 and we faded down. You know, we could have taken this from, like, let's say 45 once we tapped the zone and bid it out of it all the way down. Needless to say, pretty good gains, and you could have even swung it, although, yeah, so you get the idea there. So that's the basics of supply and demand and playing breakouts, finding where buyers step in, finding where sellers step in, and you know what to kind of expect on a bigger scale here for Amazon in any trade, really. The next one is AMD. Start on a daily. The daily really doesn't tell us that much, so I want to go to the 4-hour. I already have this kind of pulled up. So we know this is the floor here. We see this is where a big buy imbalance was. So if we ever do want to go higher, we need to retest this area here. Previously, we thought this could be it, right? So bottom of here to the top of the previous candle, since this engulfed it by so much. And if we make a demand zone that big, it's really not that precise. So we go to the following, make that green. And we see that anytime we tapped it, we bid it up. We came back down. Since it wasn't strong enough, we bid it all the way up. It's a good $10 move. There was really no way of telling that this is where we reject right here. But anyways, we come back down and we invalidate this demand zone. So we go ahead and delete that. And we know the next one is sitting here, and this is a lot stronger of a demand zone. So that's what recently happened. Let's go to like a 1 hour. But we have this trend line here. So one touch, two touch, and then we came up to touch it again, and we kind of consolidated for a while, and it's followed by a breakout. Followed by the breakout, we came back for a retest and then a move higher. So Intel's earnings kind of helped with that, but it just goes to show that technicals always align with news. And with the next day, we want to look for at what area do we expect to take profit. And we see in this area there was some consolidation. This is a balanced period. So within these levels that I marked, this is where I was expecting to just take profits in the mid 95s, and that's kind of what happened. Although it did go a little higher, but we don't need to be exact with every trade. We just need to make them green. And so we followed by that. This is kind of what happened throughout the day. I figured we'd come back down and we would catch this pre-market low. Okay, whoops. Somewhere in the zone we would catch. Okay. And so that's kind of what happened. We bounced here, we came back, and we bounced a little, and then we broke it. Buyers were not strong enough. They wanted to test a new range. So here is kind of a bounced out period, even though this after hours noise really kind of invalidated that, but we still get the idea of where buyers were, or where buyers would load up next. So we came back and we tested this little area, and that's where we started bidding up. And I have a good feeling on Monday, after this weekend, we will see some buyers step back in this name. This was mostly just profit taking, and with earnings coming up, I do expect this to go higher. But all in all, that kind of recaps all the trade setups that I wanted to go over. I hope you're able to take some value out of this and apply it to some trades that you're looking to take in the future. And if you like it, go ahead, drop a like, comment, and of course, subscribe. Thank you for watching.